So I despise Christmas and everything about it. Well, almost everything about it. So I'll start off with the good things about Christmas. Gatherings with people you care about. That's obviously a good thing any time of year. And that's about it. I literally cannot think of another good thing about Christmas. So the downsides of Christmas, well, for starters, gatherings with people you don't really want to see, but you have like that social contract or whatever, and you're like required to see them. You're not really required to see them, but there is that people will kind of have negative feelings towards you if you don't come see them. Oh, my battery's dying. Let's see if I can finish this video before the battery dies. Probably my biggest complaint about Christmas is just how our like consumerist culture has completely capitalized on that and turned it into this big money-making thing. Because Christmas is not at all what it was ever meant to be in the first place. Because what it is now is basically it's all about gifts. You gotta buy stuff, and it's all about this consumerist culture of buying things you don't need and buying things for other people that they don't need and wasting money on all this non-essential stuff. And you are required to give people gifts in the same way that you aren't required to give them gifts, but if you don't, there's sort of that negative undertone of like, oh, he didn't give me a gift this year. Gift giving should always come from within, from a desire to give, from wanting to make the other person happy, not from a sense of, oh, I gotta get you a gift now because you're probably gonna give me a gift because you think that you have to give me a gift because you think I'm gonna give you a gift. And it's this like cyclical thing where people are only giving each other gifts because they think that other people are going to give them gifts and they feel obligated to do so. And so everyone's wasting money on all this unnecessary junk that no one wants. And then you got re-gifting and people that like, oh, oops, I don't know what happened to it because they actually donated it because they don't want this stuff. Or, you know, every once in a while, and actually, I'll give the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes you do get something really cool, something you actually enjoy. Like this year, I got some heated gloves. Fantastic. I'll use those while skiing. I'll use those like in early spring and early spring and late fall when I'm on the motorcycle. Those are great. But all gift giving should come from a place of wanting to give, wanting to make the other person happy because you can, not from the sense of obligation. I had to change the battery right there. I didn't make it in time. But I guess a good way of summarizing it is that giving from a sense of obligation basically creates feelings of resentment, even if very subtle. Even if you deny that you feel resentment, like, you know, it's still kind of there. It's hiding in the background. And so for years, I haven't given gifts, and I've asked people to not give me gifts unless they actually want to give me something. Like this year, I only gave one gift because I saw this thing probably a couple months ago. I saw it online, and I immediately thought of this person. I was like, oh, they would love this, and so I got it for them. That's how gift giving should be. Not a sense of like, okay, here's my checklist of all the people I gotta get stuff for. Oh, what do I get them? You know, of course, the only exception to me not giving gifts is me and my siblings all pitch in on stuff for my parents every year. And so, like, I'll toss in however much I owe on that. So I'm contributing to that. And that I don't really feel resentment for. That's fair. That's our agreement. So, and I mean, of course, they're my parents. I should be nice to them, I guess. But actually, honestly, I could say, and I like just at this point, I'm just really hoping that my family members don't ever watch this video. But I could say even that really has that sense of obligation in there, because if I were to not pitch in and my other siblings all pitched in on the gift, but then I didn't, they would obviously feel that, like, have that negative resentment toward me, you know, of like, oh, he didn't pitch in on the gift, he's not giving gifts, what's wrong with, you know, it's still there. Even though I just denied it. I didn't even realize that. I didn't think about that. Or I didn't, like, that wasn't planned. I haven't scripted anything for any of my videos. But, like, I didn't think that through ahead of time. I just realized it now as I was filming this, that I was just doing the thing that I had just described right before doing it. That I was denying it and be like, no, it's fine. It's fine. Of course I'm going to give a gift to my parents. But even though there's that very subtle thing underneath the surface. And I don't know if my siblings feel the same way or not. Honestly, I've never talked to them about that in particular. I have about this whole thing in general, but not about pitching in towards my parents. But that's one of those things where it's like the social taboo of not doing that outweighs the discomfort of doing that. And because then I feel uncomfortable with the fact that I would be uncomfortable with it. I feel like there's a lot of things in life that are not only like the social taboo around those certain things develops very naturally because there are certain things that we just naturally are uncomfortable about. And then people kind of shun other people for wanting to talk about those things because they're uncomfortable that the other person is talking about it. Which just makes it even harder for someone to talk about it because they're already uncomfortable. But I don't really have any good way of summarizing all that or wrapping it up. So I guess I could just move on to the next point and say that if you strip away all of my complaints about Christmas and bring it back to what it was originally meant to be, I still don't have any interest in it because I don't celebrate Christ. So I basically have zero interest in anything Christmas related whatsoever. Now, what I do have interest in is the winter solstice. Not for any sort of like silly spiritual reasons, but just for the like reality and practicality of the fact that it is the shortest day of the year. It's all upwards from here. The days are getting longer, we're getting more sunlight, and that can kind of give us some more hope to help us make it through the literal dark days that are still yet to come, because it takes quite a while for the days to start getting noticeably longer. And of course the body requires sunlight. We suffer without it. We don't get enough vitamin D, so like I take vitamin D in the winter because I live up in Wisconsin. And I could say also some other things I do appreciate about the Christmas season. Some Christmas music, a lot of it I really don't like, but some of it's very good. I like the general feel of Christmas music, even if I don't agree with the exact lyrics of many of the Christmas songs. I appreciate Christmas lights. I love the soft, warm glow of them. I love sitting inside, thankful that someone invented like an indoor furnace, whoever that is. I'm very, very grateful that they existed, and that I can like sit in a soft, cushiony chair with a warm blanket and a hot chocolate and the warm glow of the Christmas lights and just stare out the window at the snow. It's peaceful. It's nice. I like that. It's cozy. And like I said, I appreciate the gatherings with people that you do care about, like friends and family, because these are literal dark days that you're living through when the days are shorter. You don't get as much sunlight, and having that support network can be good. I'm still not 100% convinced on this, but everyone else seems to be convinced that socializing in some form or another is a requirement for mental health. I joke about not really needing socializing, but on a real note, if I think in terms of like if I was the last person alive, I wouldn't want to survive. So I may be like a hardcore introvert, but I do still need some level of socializing. So yes, actually, socializing in some form or another is required on some level. I had more that I wanted to say, but I'm trying to remember what else. What else did I want to talk about? Well, I can't remember what else I was going to say, so if it's important enough, I'll put it in a different video. So, oh, happy holidays! I was just about to say happy holidays, and then I remembered that's the rest of what I was gonna say. Actually, I'm gonna post this video. I'm gonna talk about the happy holiday. I'm gonna talk about the happy holiday. I'm gonna talk about the happy holiday stuff in a different video, and I'll post that tomorrow because I've talked long enough, and I feel like the duration of speech has rendered it viable to post them in two separate videos instead of all together in one. So to cap this video off, I would say my ideal way of celebrating the holiday season would be doing things you enjoy doing with the people you enjoy having in your life. And just remembering to take the time to be happy, because it's very easy to forget these days. Take care.